That's lined in the left field. Heyward have to play it on a bounce. That's a base hit. Getting a wave around third, Arise. The throw to the plate by Heyward on a hop. The slide. The tag out. Arise tagged out at home. He's on his hands and knees. Hopefully he's all right. But that's a big second out on the base hit by Profar.
Well, what a bullseye throw from Jason Heyward. A long one hopper right on the money. It had to be perfect, and it was.
Sounds like he's fitting into left field just fine. Jason Heyward with us here on Sports Talk 790. Jason, it's Ross with you here in Houston. Where's the celebration after that throw, man? We got to have you like with put the guns in the holsters. We need a bow and arrow with your archery. We need some kind of celebration after that, Jason. Come on, man.
I don't know. I feel like I'm a little old school in the game. I think the new wave, somebody definitely would have put something in the holster. But I don't know. My mind was on we're still down 2-0. Let's keep it right there and do the best we can to fight back. But I did notice the third base coach kind of looked at me like, like kind of what was that? I just stared back at him like, what the heck you mean? What was that? Like,
so if you don't know, now you know. Is that what you said?
He 5 Gold Gloves. But it's left field. It was a close to throw, but I get why he sent them. Good read on his part, but also a good read on my part on the play off the bat, and great play by Caratini right there to hold on to it and put the tag.
Yeah, it had to be a perfect throw, and it was. And actually, you know what? Let's just real quick on that point that you made. What do you think, as somebody who is a veteran in the game, been around a long time, are you just okay with the kind of celebrations, bat pimping, bat flipping, all that type of stuff, as far as the fun in the game, or do you like to keep it a little more old school, or the direction of the game, not necessarily just you individual, but the game as a whole?
No, the game as a whole. I think we should definitely keep up with the times. It's awesome to see expression. It's awesome to see people enjoy the moment and live in those moments. The longer our game's around, you get to see the sport like European football, soccer in itself in general. They celebrate each play, because I feel like they understand how hard the game is. And you see the rate baseball's going now with positioning and pitch charting and analytics, all these things. So I feel like it's even harder to get a base hit, to hit a home run, as a pitcher and whatnot with all the information. So you got to celebrate the moments, and I think the fans love and appreciate the excitement.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think there are people. Are you a soccer fan, Jason?
I am a soccer fan. Actually, I was tuning into Real Madrid.
Oh, okay, I got that on right now on the TV. Yeah, it's 0-0 in the 33rd minute. That's what I try to, because there are people, of course, who are like, okay, you got to appreciate the little things. You're absolutely right. Little dribbles, little passes, and I think that's definitely true of baseball as well. And speaking on that and the nuances of the game, what is it like for you adjusting, playing a little bit of left field? Obviously, it's not necessarily rocket science, but can you give us some subtle differences playing right field as you normally do as opposed to playing left?
I feel like the way the ball comes off the bat to left field is the toughest thing out of all three positions. Because I feel like everything hooks. I don't think there's very many true balls hit the left. And don't get me wrong, if it's hit true, I believe those are the ones that are going to go over the fence or at least to the wall. But I feel like right field and center, you at least get some balls that come off the bat and kind of stay more true. Left field, it's a new visual for me, by all means, but with some reps in BP, some reps in, of course, in the game here and there, I'm starting to get more comfortable with the fields. But it's a tough one. But I think on a play, you look at the play last night, it's kind of nice to have that visual straight in front of me on a ball hit to me where I can see the runner. I don't have to kind of peek up and see where he is. I kind of just had a sixth sense on, okay, I know he's going to go, but I'm going to take my time and play this off a tough hop and make a good throw here.
All right. Jason Heyward with us here on Sports Talk 790. Of course, your choice to come to the Houston Astros. What has it been like for you here? And as far as the decision to come here, did you have any previous relationships with anybody over here, or was this mostly like a new endeavor for you?
Oh, definitely my choice. You don't get opportunities in these situations unless someone picks up the phone and reaches out to you. And Houston called. They gave me, the kind of the guidelines or I guess parameters of what they saw for me having an opportunity to be able to be in the lineup at times, fit in with this group, kind of be a part of the rotation on what's helping someone like Tucker, come back and get his legs up under him. Of course, now we've had some injuries to some other outfielders in Gamble and McCormick, but it was just a real chance for me to start right away. Not have to go do any minor league games. And in my mind, I wanted the opportunity to be with a team who had experience winning, who just, they breathe every single day trying their best to win the game at hand. And world champions. There's a lot of world champions on this squad, and so that's been great. And it's been a good experience. It's a unique time to change teams, to change clubhouses. Being very real, and I think something that everyone in the world can relate to is, you get fired from your job. There's a lot of things that happen emotionally, mentally. You have a family, you want to support them. I know I signed a contract to play the 2024 season, so that wasn't really in any jeopardy. But still, you want to play the game. You signed up to do that this season, and having a chance to do that with Houston, a team that has that experience into the postseason, was a big part of my decision.
That's what I was going to ask you next. It's just, you released by the Dodgers on the 26th. You signed 3 days later. What was that window like for you to just a little more expounding on that? Like you said, maybe somewhat feeling like, okay, I get released. That's not a good feeling, but also on the other side, knowing that you are wanted and also with a team that's a contender.
Yeah, that was probably outside of getting married and having 2 boys. Those are probably some of the biggest waves of emotions that I've had in my life. I don't even know. You can't even say up, down. It was just everything that wave hits you. There's some time to think about things, some time to reflect, but then not a whole lot of time to make your next decision. I think the toughest part for me is, when anyone asks me, like, who's my football team or who's my sports team, who do I like to root for, I feel kind of lucky because I'm like, I don't really have a team. And the only team I have is the team I'm playing for. That's who I root for. That's just how I've always lived. I love that. I appreciate it. I really enjoy it. So stepping into one clubhouse that I spent the full season with last year in LA, and then going into spring training this year on a mission, fully invested in that group, being told to leave and being told that situation's done, that's tough by all means. There's a lot of people you build a relationship with and then you care for and you put everything into it. But then having a new situation and being called upon a new opportunity, very shortly after, I think there's not a lot of time to reflect on where I came from, not a lot of time to dig into, the what ifs and how things went or how do I feel about, being told to move on. I think, that's kind of been a tough part about it. That's the reality of this business and this job, but there are certain things that allow us as baseball players to have a chance to still fight on, and that's what this opportunity has been, and I want to keep making most of that.
Yeah, and of course, we know in the thick of the AL West race now, 4 games ahead of the Seattle Mariners. Mm-hmm. What is this? It's just like the mood in the clubhouse with the guys right now. Is it especially coming from somewhere that's different than the Dodgers? And of course, you've been some other places as well. What is it like with the guys down there as we come down the stretch?
It's very impressive. It's impressive to see how much these guys want to be in postseason baseball, how much they want to go deep into October. And, it's also impressive to see the comfort in the ups and downs of the season. The schedule's tough. Obviously this is one of those unique years where you feel like everybody you play coming down the stretch, minus, no offense to the Angels, just based on where they are as a franchise, but everybody else we're playing is in the postseason, fighting to get in the postseason, right? And respectfully made a name for themselves in 2024. So this clubhouse is, really, I think, stepped up to that challenge, and we're having a lot of fun with that everyday grind. We know we're playing a really good team right now in San Diego, and, it's cool to see these leaders, Altuve's, Bregman's, Tucker's, Alvarez, Fromber, Verlander, to name a few of the guys, it's cool to see them go about their business every single day.
And you mentioned, it is kind of unique and different in a way, the challenge of getting up for the Padres, and then you guys just had a series where you did sweep the Angels, but what is that like for you mentally, where you, as you mentioned, not as good of a team in the Angels, but also at the same time not wanting to miss the opportunity to seize that opportunity to win those games?
I think the experience with a group like this one, some of the guys I've heard from, since coming over, they say, man, there have been times where we've seen ourselves not play as well against teams not in a race. And so to your point, that last series in Anaheim, hats off to everyone. Just coming in and getting the job done in a series where we know we just need to play baseball and do the best we can each night. The outcome's going to be the outcome, but just staying focused in the approach and the process. And the same thing went for last night. Sometimes you're going to get beat. Last night was a very good baseball game, in my opinion. Darvish threw well. Spence went up against one of the better pitchers in baseball, for this, last decade. And, impressive game all around. They were able to get some big hits, and they held it off. But that's the postseason vibe. That's the mindset. That's the thing we crave in our clubhouse. And we know we have a great chance of being on the other side of games like that.
Well, at least it gets easy with Michael King and Dylan Cease the next 2 days, Jason. I'm kidding, of course.
I don't think we'd have it. I don't think we'd have it any other way. It's really cool to, in my opinion, I think it's really cool to be battle tested at this time of year, and this group is every bit of that. And these are more tests coming up. It's fun challenge, and if you do your job, taking care of business, and punching that ticket into October. We can definitely say we faced some of the best in the game to get there.
Jason Heyward with us here on Sports Talk 790. Great stuff, Jason. I really appreciate you making some time for us.
No, thank you for having me, Ross. I appreciate it, man.
All right, thank you. Wow, great interview there with Jason Heyward. From him, good stuff from Jason Heyward there as the Astros come down the stretch against the San Diego Padres. 8:40 first pitch tonight here on Sports Talk 790, 7:30 Astros on deck. Final segment to come here on the Matt Thomas Show. If you want to react to anything Jason had to say, you still want to talk some Stros, we're talking some Texans, anything you want to get to at 713-212-5790.